So Einstein said space-time is bent in the presence of matter and energy. Mitochondria bend space-time. Mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. What does this mean? This means more energy, more light coming from your body, right? And you could look at this simply from, if you go to touch a corpse, it's cold, it's non-moving, right? And you go to touch your own forehead, what is this I'm feeling? I'm feeling heat, I'm feeling temperature, I'm feeling infrared light, spectrum of light that we can't see but we can touch and feel. When I go into the sunlight, I also feel this infrared heat, this temperature coming off my body, you know. So mitochondria powers of the cell, they can bend space, time, and matter. Mitochondrial functioning can slow down the aging process. It's very simple to think about this, but why do some people, have you ever noticed why some people age so fast? And when people get around the age of like 40, 50, like more towards 50, you can see there's a great divide between people. Either people look really, really good, they're taking care of their health, or they're not. And a fascinating thing to think about is Alzheimer's dementia, which they say starts decades prior. So Alzheimer's dementia will actually start 20s, 30s, and we know that it's a disease that is starting to progress further, younger and younger, just how puberty is hitting our teenagers younger and younger. And this all comes to mitochondrial disease, insulin sensitivity, light sensitivity, because Alzheimer's dementia is diabetes type 3. And the CDC came out recently and said that 1 in 3 teens are pre-diabetic. A lot of us have trouble with the cortisol, with the mitochondria function. So how do you feed your mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell? How do you slow down your aging process? Well, all trillions of cells require protein and fatty acids. We call them essential amino and fatty acids. Essential because they literally are critical for cellular integrity, membrane integrity, and the functioning of everything that's happening in the cell. We go into the sunlight, we need vitamin D. Vitamin D is implicated low levels in almost every disease state because it's kind of a stress response. So if I'm stressed out, I'm depleting my nutrients at a fast rate. Robert Sapolsky's book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, we speed up the aging process when we are dumping nutrients out. We face diseases, mental health diseases like depression, right? We all, as we age, we all literally experience depression in the body. It's just lower magnesium levels, lower, vitamin D levels. When we get stressed out, our stress response takes longer to come back down. But when we have this resiliency built up, and think about resiliency as your skin, right? Like when we get older, our skin becomes more rigid, right? We don't have as much collagen, as much protein in our skin. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, great resource to look into if you don't know her. She studies like the aging process and how important and critical protein is for health in the body. Creatine, zinc, taurine, carnitine, all of these key elements that you're not going to find in the animal-based, in plant protein or plant products as high as you will in animal-based proteins. It is so important, and then I'm a little bit scattered, I'm sorry. But like, why have we been taught that fat is bad for us and cholesterol is bad for us? Every single cell membrane, I'm in a class, I'm learning about the cell function. Every single membrane in the cell has cholesterol embedded in the cell. So when we have issues with our cholesterol, usually it's a matter of the environment, because cholesterol is so important in our cell signaling. It's so important in tamping down the stress response and hormone signaling. So we need cholesterol. Lowering cholesterol is not the move. Like the brain's mostly fat. Cholesterol is the basis of all of our steroid hormones. So we literally need it. Like we need sodium, we need potassium, magnesium, all these little bitty elements. And there's no better place to go than to Mama Nature herself, to go into the sunlight and to synthesize vitamin D from there, to eat animal-based proteins. When I eat my tryptophan, and I go into the sun, I know the sun breaks down tryptophan. It creates serotonin. It helps me synthesize dopamine and melatonin. We create the most melatonin in the sunlight. Isn't that crazy? I'm feeding and building my darkness. I'm setting myself up for my sleep while I'm going into the sun. Yin and yang, right? If the sun was yang, which it is, masculine energy, wakeful hormones, yang, anabolic and really catabolic at the same time. Then I'm going to sleep. I'm building that melatonin. Once I have that high melatonin levels at night, my body is nice and restored. My immune system has consolidated everything it needs to consolidate. My memory has consolidated itself, dementia, Alzheimer's, memory. Then the next day, I go into another day of insulin sensitivity. I'm scooping up my sugars. I'm creating serotonin, dopamine. My blood is flowing, all of it, everything's moving. Night and day, on and off switches, which talking about tumor progressions and things that grow in the body that are foreign, they need a growth signal. So my growth signal is being out in the sun in the morning. I'm getting that growth signal. I'm eating. That's a growth signal. I'm working out. That's a growth signal, right? Rest signal would be darkness. Melatonin is, you protect your melatonin by protecting yourself from blue light at night. I'm not working out really, really late at night because I'm protecting my melatonin. If I'm working out, I'm sending a growth signal to my body. If I'm eating really late at night, I'm sending a growth signal to my body. I don't want to be sending a growth signal because it's going to mess up my rest signal. And then the following day, I'm just going to be in this little rat race of a cascade, you know? In that speed racer frequency, when we start to talk about the brainwave states at night and how important these are, mitochondria bend space-time. Where did we start? The body needs to rest as much as it plays and works. And as we age or go into the disease state, we lose this delta wave function. This is a slowing down of the respiratory rate, a cooling of the body temperature, a lowering of the heart rate, right? Everything slows down in order to surveil the entire body, protect it, rest, so that I can speed up again, right? You're a speed racer, but you can't go forever. You gotta slow down, you gotta rest. There's some in between the Tao, the middle way. There's some middle way between being your best and also needing to rest when you know you need to rest. So the speed racer frequency, that caffeinated high anxiety frequency, is that high beta wave frequency. Of course, all these are important. You know, I don't really talk much about all of them because I really focus on the beta wave and the delta wave. And also, when you practice meditation, slowing down your breathing rate, you can slow down and get into that theta wave state. So if at nighttime, you're like, I really want to help my body rest a little bit better at night. You know, you could put on a meditation in your ear and slow down your breathing rate, and that's going to help you fall asleep. You know, they say fake it till you make it. So if you pretend you're going to fall asleep, your body just naturally just drifts off. And where does it go? I don't know. We just go into a different state of consciousness, just like when you black out from alcohol. Where do you go? You know, we're always going, our hormones guide our state of consciousness. So of course, like, again, talking about depression is usually a nutrient deficiency. So when I am feeling depressed, I'm in a particular state of consciousness where everything looks negative, colors don't look as vibrant, the world is a terrible place, right? And Tony Robbins talks about how important the language is that we describe when we're in these types of states. And you know, so like, how do you get out of that depressive, anxious state? Like, I think the first way to do that is like proteins, amino acids. Like, at the very minimum, the cell, the body, how do you support your basic structure and function? And that is to give your brain, especially what it needs. The brain is going to take 20 to 30% of the total body's energy per day. So if we are starving, if we are nutrient deficient, the brain is going to find these nutrients. It's going to break down the muscle faster. It's going to break down the tissues because it will get its fair share of nutrients. And it's very intelligent organism. So, you know, one of the best ways to feed the brain in the morning is to go in the sunlight. Like, we actually feed the body through sunlight. I think that's so beautiful, personal, hot take. And if you're sensitive to the sunlight, getting a protein-filled, animal-based breakfast before you go into the sunlight, and even meditation, you know, brain's a supercomputer, central intelligence agency. The brain and spinal cord is known as the central nervous system. So it definitely needs a lot of nutrients. And if you feel like you're not getting enough, you might be right. It might be your intuition saying, am I getting enough? If the question has to be asked, maybe the answer is no. because you'll know, like, you'll feel energized when you have everything that you need. You feel at peace. That's what A Course in Miracles says. You feel at peace when you have everything you need. You feel calm in your nervous system, in your body. And then we share that we share hormones with people. So if I go into a room and I'm all stressed out and I'm angry and I'm anxious and I'm moving in really jagged, like, let's say I walk into my kitchen. I always use an example because it's very easy to picture someone walking into the kitchen. Let's say you're sitting at the table and somebody walks into the kitchen and they're slamming the drawers shut, right? Every time they slam a drawer, it jolts you, you know? You're like, oh, aggressive. That's what you think. That person is aggressive, right? They're sharing hormones with you. You don't have to, of course, take on that. But let's say you walk into the kitchen and you're just gently, lightly flowing and you're gently closing the cabinets and you're not causing havoc into other people's lives. Like, we always share hormones, whether we know it or not. So anyway, I have a few little quotations I wanted to share with you from A Course in Miracles. It's this book that I read almost every day, or try to. It's called Foundation for Inner Peace, but I feel like it has really helped me to find a sense of peace and calm in my own nervous system. So anyways, it is essential, however, that you free yourself quickly, because you must emerge from the conflict if you are to bring peace to other minds. We just talked about that. No one who lives in fear is really alive. Cortisol or testosterone. Cortisol, the stress hormone, or testosterone, which comes from cholesterol, healthy fats. We have to get healthy fats if we are to have a chance at, I don't want to say outrunning the stress response, but have a chance at finding this balance and this strength. If you perceive truly, you are canceling out perceptions in yourself and others simultaneously. Because you see them as you are, you offer them your acceptance of their truth so that they can accept it from themselves. All beliefs are real to the believer. The result of genuine devotion is inspiration, a word which properly understood is the opposite of fatigue. To be fatigued is to be dispirited, but to be inspired in the right sense is to be in spirit. Where you look to find yourself is up to you. A good teacher clarifies his own ideas and strengthens them by teaching them. You learn best when you believe what you are trying to learn is of value to you. Like, learning about health, learning about nutrition, learning about the body can only strengthen you, right? Like, learning that the body is made of essential amino and fatty acids, like, what good is that to you if you don't put that into your own life and don't practice it, you know? What good is knowing that when you stand open and upright, that you're secreting more testosterone than being hunched over and secreting cortisol? What good is that if you just always stay hunched over and maybe you only eat Taco Bell for the rest of your life? You know, what good is that knowledge if you don't try to practice it? Peace is stronger than war because it heals. War is division, not increase. No one gains from strife. What profit it a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? If you listen to the wrong voice, you have lost sight of your soul. You cannot lose it, but you can not know it. It is therefore lost until you choose right. Choose right. Choose the light. Insulin sensitivity, mitochondrial backflips, mitochondria bend space-time, which is where we started. I just hope you remember how beautiful you are and how quickly things happen. Like, when we go into the sun, like, you don't have to spend 24 hours in the sun. You know, who can spend 24 hours in the sun? No one, and the sun's not even up for 24 hours, you know? All it takes is a moment, and in the book A Course in Miracles, they call it the holy instant. You know, just a moment of slowing down the breath can, like, put your whole system into a place of peace when you were just moments before in a place of chaos. And the breath is so powerful. Even just setting a timer on your phone and pretending that you're inflating a balloon as much as you can. The balloon is your lungs. And then slowly letting that balloon out can change your whole biochemistry. You are so beautiful. So may you always be blessed with the clarity to know what is and what isn't meant for you. Remember that our intuition is part of our immune function as a protection mechanism from the environment. And I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will catch you later.